Me and my girlfriend were celebrating our 5-year anniversary when a swarm of police officers surrounded our table. Before I could react, an officer pointed a gun at my girlfriend Imani and shouted, "Put your hands where I can see them!" Imani's fork clattered onto her plate. 8 huge officers were called for one woman eating pasta. They cuffed her right there, her face pressed against our anniversary cake while the whole restaurant stared. "I didn't do anything!" she cried as they dragged her past tables of white folks filming with their phones. "Baby, help me!" she exclaimed, pointing at me. I was screaming about lawsuits and racism while following them outside, but the lead officer just looked through me. "She knows what she did wrong," he said, shoving her into the squad car. No explanation, no charges, just my girlfriend's terrified face disappearing behind tinted glass. At the station, I demanded answers from anyone who'd listen. The booking officer barely glanced up from his paperwork. "Not my first rodeo with these types," he muttered, and my stomach turned. I knew exactly what he meant. They were racist. While waiting, I met 2 other black men in the lobby, both there for similar reasons. "This precinct is known for bias," one of them told me. "They picked my son up for fitting their description of a criminal 3 times this year. The desk sergeant was even worse. When I asked what Imani was charged with, he just said she fit their kind and turned away. 4 hours in that fluorescent hell, and nobody would tell me anything. My phone had ran out of battery after I tried to call everyone I knew. I decided to just go home after that. The plan was to sit on my couch, watch NBA to distract myself and be patient, but my mind was driving me crazy. I spent hours doing research on Reddit of people describing themselves similar situations, and at midnight, there was a knock on my door. It was Imani's parents. I expected them to be in tears, or just as angry as me. Instead, they looked disappointed, like they'd already accepted what their daughter Imani did. Her mother stood frozen by the entrance while her father approached me, his face stone cold. "You need to leave us alone," he said quietly. "Don't come to our house. Don't call us. We want nothing to do with that girl. Or you." I was confused, asking what was wrong. Why weren't they helping their daughter? Her mother finally spoke, her voice breaking. "Tell her she's dead to us. Tell her that." The realization hit me. Whatever Imani had done, they already knew. They left without another word, and that's when real fear started creeping in. By morning, I was desperate. I called Imani's sister, begging for answers. She picked up on the 4th ring. "Hello, I need you to tell me what Imani did," I interrupted. "I need you to tell me what the hell is going on. Please." My voice cracked as tears streamed down my face. This was the love of my life, the woman pregnant with our firstborn child, now arrested. I needed answers. "I can't tell you," she finally said, her voice barely a whisper, "but talk to her lawyer. Imani knows you want to find out what happened, and she told her lawyer to explain everything to you." When I asked why she wouldn't just tell me herself, she started crying. "Just prepare yourself for what he'll say, okay? And know that none of us knew. We didn't know. We couldn't have known." Beep. She hung up. I wasted no time in driving to the lawyer's office where her lawyer, Mr. O'Brien, was. When he saw me, he opened the door immediately. He was an older man with tired eyes. "Come in," he mumbled, his voice laced with sadness like he had news about Imani that he wished never happened. I sat down, my hands shaking from caffeine jitters and sleep deprivation. "So you really don't know?" he asked, studying my face. "No, I have no idea. Please, I need you to tell me. Not knowing is killing me." He sighed and pulled out a PC. "Son, I'm about to show you why 8 officers showed up to arrest your girlfriend, why her parents walked away, why nobody wants to touch this case." He turned the PC toward me, and my whole world shattered. The screen showed surveillance footage from the daycare Imani worked at. Imani was there, in the nap time room with all the lights off. The toddlers were asleep on their little mats. On the camera, I watched as she let a man dressed in all black into the room. The lawyer explained who the man was. She was letting kitty fiddlers into the daycare during nap time. She'd give the children extra melatonin in their lunch milk to make sure they stayed deeply asleep for longer. Then these men would— He stopped, seeing my face. "They would hurt them, and she filmed everything to sell for thousands of dollars online." I ran to the trash can and threw up until there was nothing left. A tear fell from the lawyer's eye. Update: Imani was arrested. A few weeks ago, a group of inmates found out what she did and left her in a vegetative state, so she miscarried our baby Sai.